Hey guys, it's Cole again from FishUSA, back again to give you another intro to fishing video, and today we'd like to cover rods. So there's a few terms to consider when talking about rods, and first we're going to start out with the action. And what that means is it's how far, where on the rod, and how much that bend is going to occur when you put pressure on the tip of the rod. The next term is the taper. And the taper is just the size of the overall length of the rod. This rod that I'm holding in my hand has a relatively smaller to medium-sized taper. The last big term to consider is going to be your power. And that is when you hear your ultralight, your mediums, it's going to be the overall strength of the rod. You'll hear guys talk about the backbone. A rod has a particular backbone that they like. That what they're saying there is they're referring to the power of the rod. The next thing I want to talk about is the materials that go into making the rods. The first and most common being graphite. Just about every single rod you see is going to be made from some sort of graphite. The next you're going to see is the fiberglass. Fiberglass rods are meant for fishermen that really like a slower action. The next thing you're going to see in the construction of all rods are your guides. Now in this particular rod I'm holding, it has the metallic outer ring of it with a ceramic coating on it. That's going to be standard for a lot of rods, but another thing you want to consider when you're picking your rod is your handle. The rod I'm holding right now has a cork handle. You'll see a lot of different things like the carbon fiber handles, or such as an EVA grip, which is more of a neoprene material. The last thing with your rod construction that you want to consider is the reel seats. You're not going to see much variation in them. It's just either whether it's down acting or up acting on how you screw that reel on there, and you just want to make sure it holds it tight. The first rod I want to talk about specifically is your spinning rod. The big difference you'll see with spinning rods is the size of the guides. As I talked about before with the guides, it has that ceramic outer lining all the way up. The next big thing you want to talk about is the length. Spinning rods range in length from about 4 feet to about 13 to 14 feet. Same thing with the power. It's going to be your ultralight, your mediums, all the way up. I've seen 2 and extra heavy. The most popular action you'll see with your spinning rods is a faster action, but you will see companies make a slower action, a moderate action, but like I said, the most common you'll see there is that fast action. The next rod I want to talk about is your casting rod. Now the first major noticeable difference between this and a spinning rod is again those guides. You're going to see much smaller guides on a casting rod. The second major difference you're going to see is this grip. So you'll see it has almost kind of like a pistol grip, and what that allows you to do is it allows you to palm that casting reel on there for a much more comfortable grip. The most common length you're going to see with these is about 6 to 7 feet, as it's tailored to more of a bass angler. Once again, with that comes the most common of fast action. You'll see companies like All Pro Rods that'll make a more moderate action for different types of fishing, but if you talk to the bass angler, they mostly prefer that fast action of the rod. The next rod I want to talk about is your fly rod. Now the big thing you want to notice with fly rods is it does not go by the same weighting system for their strengths. Instead of your ultralight, your medium light, your mediums, your heavies, it goes by a weight system. And I mean that literally in saying it goes from your 2 weights, 3 weights, 4 weights, all the way up to I've seen a 16 weight for your saltwater fishing. The biggest thing about this is going to be your guides here. So instead of that ceramic lining on all the guides, it's just on that first. And it goes to a much different type of guide moving up. And what that allows what that accomplishes is it lets your fly line move smoothly through that. The most common type of fly rod you're going to see is your 9-foot 5 weight. That allows you to fish really just about anything in this Great Lakes region with confidence. The last rod I'd like to talk to you about today is our Centerpin rods. Centerpin rods typically range from 11 to 13 feet is what you're most commonly going to see. And with that, the most common weight you're going to see is your medium to medium light. It allows anglers to really feel the bite and the sensitivity that you're going to want on a rod, but also have a backbone to fight those bigger fish. Casting a Centerpin rod with a reel is much different. If you have any questions on that, I would definitely recommend checking out the How to Cast a Centerpin Rod and Reel on our FishUSA YouTube channel. So that wraps up our rod overview for the day. I hope it was helpful. Thank you for watching. If you have any more questions, please feel free to send an email, give us a call, or definitely stop in at the FishUSA Pro Shop. Our experts are more than happy to help you with any problem you might have. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and give it a like, share it with anybody else who you know it will help. If you're interested in any more content that we post every single day, go ahead and subscribe to our page.